extinction level event that happened about 250 million years ago, and it just might be the future if our species continues to neglect the effects of greenhouse gases and climate change. The Permian extinction is the most catastrophic of all the extinction level events to happen in the Earth's history, and has the highest extinction percentage, with 90 to 96% of all life wiped out. To put this into perspective, out of the 7.7 billion people alive today, 7.3 would perish. This is a catastrophic level event that is undoubtedly being caused by the human race, and if we are unable to stop it, it just might be the future. The Permian extinction began about 252 million years ago, towards the end of the Permian era, in an area known as the Siberian Traps. Under this area of lush vegetation and snow lies the site of the largest volcanic eruptions in the Earth's history. The first event to happen is known as the flood basalt eruptions. This is where large cracks form in the earth and begin to spew large amounts of lava hundreds of feet into the air. The immediate effects of these truly massive eruptions were the cooling of the earth due to the thick layer of smoke and sulfur. But as the smoke began to settle, the earth temperature began to rise, and due to the large amounts of CO2 released from these eruptions, the new greenhouse gases rise the average global temperature by about 5 degrees. This though isn't enough to wipe out 90% of Earth. Scientists originally predicted that a meteor struck the Earth, but this has proven false when scientists failed to find an impact site, and when they ventured to Greenland to analyze Permian rocks. These rocks revealed that the extinction didn't happen instantly, ruling out the possibility of a meteor, but happened over a period of 80,000 years, which is broken down into 3 phases. The first phase began as the temperatures increased and some land animals began to go extinct. The second phase is when we began to see the marine extinction event with the death of many, if not all, marine animals. And the third phase was when the extinction kicks into gear and 90 to 96% of all land animals and sea creatures go extinct. The first phase of the extinction began due to the large flood basalt eruptions, which caused the average temperature to rise about 5 degrees, killing some, but not all, land animals. The second phase of the extinction of marine life, was due to the oceans warming up and absorbing excess amount of CO2 and becoming acidic in nature, with only a few life forms surviving. The third phase, the final event, was due to what is called as a methane burp. Large quantities of methane are thought to be stored under the oceans, just off the coasts of many continents, cooled to a solid state by the water. As the temperatures rose in the oceans, this solid methane began to melt and release tremendous amounts of methane and CO2, increasing the world's average temperature by a further 5 degrees. This steadily and constant increase of greenhouse gases is known as the runaway greenhouse effect, with the world's average temperature increasing by 10 degrees. This was more than enough to cause the most catastrophic extinction event in the Earth's history. There are several lessons that we can learn about the Permian extinction. One being that greenhouse gases are no small matter. They can lead to catastrophic extinction level events that threaten all life on the planet. Also, that the runaway greenhouse effect is no small matter either. Once the supposed ball starts rolling, would we be ever able to stop it and prevent the extinction of countless species that just may include our own? It is estimated that it took the Earth 100,000 years to recover from the Permian extinction. There is evidence that as a planet we are already on this path, with global temperatures steadily increasing, with the global average temperature today being in between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. 100 years ago, the average temperature was about 1.4 degrees lower. While this isn't much in the great scheme of things, it still proves that the modern technology and our reliance on fossil fuels for energy is slowly taking its toll on the planet, with the ocean's temperature slowly rising as well. The possibility of having our own methane burp in the near future is quite the possibility. And as we have seen, the Earth would be devastating and a catastrophic effect on all life on the planet. Possible ways we can prevent this level of destruction is by cutting down the level of CO2 and other greenhouse gases that we emit into the atmosphere. This strategy would be proven effective as temperatures would no longer increase and global warming would stop. But as our society has grown dependent on fossil fuels, this would be unlikely to happen. Another strategy would be to slowly replace fossil fuels with renewable energy, such as solar, wind, and water. This would slowly decrease the amount of fossil fuels required to keep our society running. We are already seeing the effects of global warming and the effects of greenhouse gases are having on our planet, with average global temperatures slowly increasing along with ocean temperatures. We as a society need to implement plans to slow down the amount of CO2 and greenhouse gases that are getting pumped into the Earth's atmosphere, as if temperatures continue to increase, we are endangering the lives of all species, including our own, and if we do not learn from the past, we may ourselves just be destined to repeat it.